Okay, here we go. These are like 10-second strength intervals. This workout doesn't look too bad. The only thing is that's kind of weird is the jumps in power. Okay, here we go. What I mean by that is like 90s is like too little. Like I discussed before, I feel like there's such a tight window where second strength and 170 watts up there is fine. Again, this workout doesn't look too bad. Stretch one, but 90 watts is just almost nothing. I don't know. Here's what it is. The only thing is that's kind of weird is the jumps in power. What I mean by that is like 90 is just like almost too little. Like I discussed before, I feel like there's such a tight window where right after this, we're 170 watts up there is fine. That's good. Tight stretch of the day. 90 watts is just almost. We're running from this right out to I don't know. Frisbee. Here's what it is. So there's no streamed run today. Plenty of running in at Frisbee. After this, we're tight schedule today. We're running from this right out to Frisbee. So there's no streamed run today. Something like I'm doing my running and prescribed Zwift workouts. Here when I get the chance, I would almost like to take these workouts. I'm fine with the workouts. The workout layout looks really fine to me. Solid workout, but I almost need to modify or adjust it more to me personally. I'd like to raise the 90 watts a little bit. Like 110 watts as a rest. I don't know. It just feels so easy. It's not like it's like I'm not working hard enough. I don't know. I guess it's based on my FTP, so maybe it's right. Maybe I just trust it. Something like I'm doing right now the prescribed Zwift workouts. Here when I get a chance, I would almost like to take these workouts. I'm fine with the workouts. The workout, like maybe my trust really fine to me. Like a solid workout. But I almost need to modify or adjust it more to me personally. I'd like to raise the. I'm also like 90 watts a little bit. My memory is biased because I used to have a higher FTP than I have now. 110 watts. Rest. I don't know. It just feels really low. I still remember that I'm not like that. I guess based on my FTP, so maybe it's right. Maybe I just trust it. Remember to wear my contacts today, too, which is helpful. Maybe we just trust it. Not keeping over my freaking glasses. I'm also like, my memory is biased because I used to have a higher FTP than I have now. So again, this just feels really low. I still remember that I'm not getting the chat. My phone is charging, it's almost dead. So I have my screen over there and over there, but there's so far. Remember to wear my contacts today. So you got a thumbs up. I need to get away to like thumbs up the difference than driving by over my freaking glasses and a little keyboard or something. So again, yeah, today is the strength intervals. I feel fine with like the 270 watts. Like again, that is high for me. That's fine. I almost think that would adjust this to be like 15 seconds. My phone is charging. And the rest wattage to be like. So I have my screen over there, 20 or something, and over there. But so far, it is what it is. Either way, I'm gonna do this workout today. I might get some more dialed-in workouts in the future. We got a thumbs up. And right after, we're gonna be over. run for about 3 hours.
I need to get away to like thumbs up because it's
Which is a
right.
workout. And a little keyboard. It's a workout for sure. Or something. So again, yeah, today is strength intervals. Came straight from work. I feel fine.
A ride in
270 watts. Like again, that's straight to frisbee. That is high for me. That's fine. I almost think that would adjust this thing.
Yeah,
10 seconds dancing after that.
and then the rest of the wattage
I'd be like 120 or something. But it is what it is. Either way, I'm going to do this workout today. I might get some more dialed in workouts in the future. And then right after, we're going to go run for about 3 hours playing frisbee, which is a workout. It's a workout for sure. Came straight to work. And I ride in. And went straight to frisbee. The potential straight to dancing after that. I don't know. I'm excited. Good. I'm afraid to put my head down. Not because you can't hear me, but because it reveals my bald spot. It's too embarrassing. It's usually not really visible, but with direct light shining upon it, yeah, icky. 15 minutes. Should have found my watch over there. You can't tell the time. I guess it is what it is. Yeah, I'll have to look at my Zwift character instead. It's luscious full head of hair. The declining widow's peak. I'm afraid to put my head down. Not because you can't hear me, but because it reveals my bald spot.
owning who you are.
It's too embarrassing. It's usually not really visible, but with direct light shining upon it, yeah, icky. Definitely excited for this season. Planning on updating a lot of my triathlons. I haven't signed up for any yet, but so I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm thinking about mostly doing local races, sprint and Olympic distances this year. Yeah, I'll have to look at my Zwift character instead. I might do just full head of hair. I think I'm gonna do declining. I'll sign up for another like half in the future, like next year. It's not about the comparison. Yeah, I haven't signed up to any half Ironmans this year because I'm just not quite in the shape I want to be yet. Might do a late season one. But I just enjoy the sprint and Olympic distance a lot. The half Ironman isn't my wheelhouse. Half marathon, maybe. That's a good distance for me. Half Ironman. Definitely excited. It's just not my planning on updating a lot of my triathlons. I haven't signed up for any yet, so I've done okay, but I'm thinking about mostly doing local races. Sprint Olympic is more natural to me. Olympic distances this year. That's not to say that those aren't hard work. They are. But working hard for that short distance is still intense. I think I'm gonna probably sign up for another like half in the future, like next year.
haven't signed up to any half Ironmans this year because I'm just not quite in the shape I want to be yet. Might do a late season one. But I just enjoy the sprint and Olympic distance a lot. The half Ironman is my wheelhouse. Half marathon, maybe. That's a good distance for me. Half Ironman. It's just not my area of success. I honestly don't like training with headphones. I've done okay music. I've done kind of this for years. I'm just in my own head. Sprint Olympic. But I have turned on the music for you. That's not to say that those aren't hard work. They are. They're in the interwebs, working hard for that shorter distances. Joining us on the YouTube channel. I'm still kind of getting some of my transition stuff set up, like how to convert some of these power and workouts to you on whatever gym equipment you're using. While I'm still working on that, in the meantime, just use it as like a joint exercise, you know? You can sit here, we can work out for an hour, just get in and push yourself. Enjoy your workout. Should be fun. Go in the Hurt Locker for a good reason, sometimes. This time we want to have fun. My internet's struggling. Hopefully I'm not dropping frames. Let us see. Yes, we are. Oh, weird. Weird music's working. I'm not sure why. I honestly don't like training with headphones or music. I've done kind of this for years. You get a wired internet connection. Just in my own head, my room, and my bike up here. The music for you. Just far. It's not too boring. I have a 100-foot cable. They're in the interwebs. That's not the issue. It's if you're the issue is joining us on the aesthetic YouTube channel of that 100-foot cable. Bothering my roommates and stuff. I'm still kind of getting some of my transition stuff set up, like even if it's on the how ceiling, to convert some of these power and workouts to you on whatever gym equipment you're using. While I'm still working on that, in the meantime, an outdoor cable and just use it as like a joint exercise, you know. Sit here. This has worked so far. Work out for an hour. So good. Just get in and push yourself. Enjoy your workout. Should be fun. So far, so good. Go in the Hurt Locker for a good reason. Sometimes. This time we. Yeah, you guys are joining in on YouTube. Again, if you're watching this, just write down in the comments below what kind of content you'd like to see. Plan on this Saturday creating and publishing in fact, working on it right now, a Couch to 5K. Hopefully I'm not dropping a video. I want to create weekly kind of coaching videos that'll correspond with these, which are just our raw workouts. Yes, we are. Of course, all of it going to be free. If you'd wish, it helped me a lot to go on to twitch.tv/uncf14tv. Just click like. You get a wired internet connection. Follow us here, right here on YouTube. My room and my bike up here. As always, that would be awesome. We're going to be making a lot more cool content. I have a 100-foot cable. It's biking. That's not the issue. It's just the beginning. The issue is just the beginning. The aesthetic of that. It's only limited by what I can bother my produce while I'm working full time. Hose with the cable spread across the house. But, even if it's on the ceiling, I'm gonna get some cool stuff. Discreet to grow. I'm just cognizant of. And yeah, so put in the comments what you want. Thought about maybe getting an outdoor kind of stuff you watch. It doesn't have to be related to this at all. We'll see. I mean, this has worked so far. So good. The wireless connection. A few more minutes before we get so good. Yeah, you guys are joining in this on YouTube. A few more minutes. Again, if you're watching this, just write down in the comments below what kind of content you'd like to see. Plan on this Saturday creating and publishing in fact, working on it right now, a Couch to 5K video. I want to create like weekly kind of coaching videos that'll correspond with
And your workout
these,
can
which
be
are just
harder
our
than
raw
mine, it can be
workouts.
easier, or whatever. Like,
Of course, all of it is going to be free.
again, I was just watching some of my friends on Twitch.
You'd wish,
bit
like,
ago,
it helped me a lot.
and, they do a lot more watts than me. That's okay.
Twitch.tv/here to NCF14TV and compare. We're here to just click
Improve
like,
and grow.
follow.
Together can reach what your
Follow
goals
us here
are.
right here on YouTube. As always, that would be awesome.
I've got a long way to go up, and
We're
that's
going to be making a lot more cool content. This biking, the running, just the beginning. Cycling is relatively new for me, and I'm always happy for the opportunity
limited by what I can
have room for improvement.
produce while working full time.
These watts might be hard for you,
But
often these are just cool stuff. Pretty easy watts for a lot of us. That's okay. Sometimes it kind of feels like a blow to my pride, but I consider myself a pretty decent athlete. Be doing 90 watts, but we do it because we're here to get better.
And yeah, so put in the comments what you want.
And stay healthy.
What kind of stuff would you watch? It doesn't have to be
Enjoy the
related to
workout.
this at all.
Get some gains along the way. We'll be looking at a lot of different options. Keep the goal in mind.
A few more minutes before we get into our intervals.
Find a way to improve wherever you're at. You can be really out of shape like me and have an opportunity to grow. It's totally fine.
A few more minutes.
Again, some of my Twitch friends and my Salt Lake Tri Club friends, they do 270 watts in their sleep, and that's okay. I'm not here to compare, we're here to grow.
And your workout can be harder than mine. It can be easier, or I mean, whatever. Like, again, I was just watching some of my friends on Twitch. Wish I would have been able to. This is again a Zwift. They do a lot more watts than me. That's okay.
Like I'm on a training plan for
We're not here
Zwift.
to. I think I would have liked to
There,
put
we're here to improve and grow.
sets under 15 seconds.
Together can reach what
Sometimes you don't even have a chance to kind of fully
engage the ERG
I've got a
mode.
long way to go up, and that's fine.
It's like by the time I'm warmed up and actually feeling like the hard watts, it's already like a reset. And it'll still be a good workout.
And I'm
always
happy
happy for the opportunity to have room for improvement. These watts might be 50 hard for you, and 90 watts is like a little bit disproportionate. These are that pretty easy watts for a lot of us. Again, I haven't had a chance to create my own workout. Sometimes it kind of feels like a blow to my pride, but I consider myself a pretty decent athlete. At least we're on the bike. We're doing 90 watts, but it's fine. We do it because we're here to get better, to improve, and stay healthy, enjoy the workout, and get some gains along the way. At least we're on the bike. Gotta get the workout in. I was really worried about trying to fit this in today. The goal in mind. Just that, I have a frisbee game. Find a way to improve wherever you're at. 6 p.m. Be really out of shape. Finishing this. Have an opportunity. 6:15 p.m. Finishing this and running right over there. I was like, do I want to blow up my legs before playing in my league? But nah. Need to get the bike in. My Twitch friends and my Salt Lake Tri Club friends. To do 270 watts in their sleep, and that's okay. And then we'll do a kind of a bike frisbee brick ride. I guess a lot of sprints at frisbee, right? I played ultimate frisbee in college for BYU, and some club level ultimate as well. Loved it.
Wish I would have been able to.
I only play again more recreational now.
Prescribed
I don't want to blow out my knee. I want to kind of have long-term health and focus on triathlon and kind of some of these more endurance cardio sports. And they're still like running can still be hard on your knees. I would have liked to put these frisbees like the landing in 15 seconds. Sometimes you don't even have a chance to kind of fully engage the ERG mode. Like by the time I'm warmed up and actually feeling like the these sprints in the arrow position, it's already like the reset. Doing triathlon, like it'll still be a good workout. You can kind of develop those muscles, but again, I wish those are about 15 seconds. It's okay. A minute 50 at 90 watts is like a little bit disproportionate to that effort. But so like I'll try to catch myself and remind myself to go arrow workouts yet for the sprint itself. I'm just doing the Zwift setup one, and that's at least we're on the bike. fine. At least we're on the bike. Gotta get the workout in. Which there's like a happy medium with like about trying to fit this in today. Some workouts I encounter like this, it's like, and I have a frisbee game at not too stressful, 6 p.m. And then some are just like so brutal, you want to die. Or 6:15 p.m. finishing this and running right over there. Medium workout. Do I want to blow up my legs before playing? I'm really improving my league, but nah. But I'm not about to die. Need to get the bike in. I don't know. I guess you have to be the ones you're about to die, so that this is easier. Marath. Gotta do the work. And then we'll do I see your comment. Kind of where I can read bike, frisbee, brick ride. I guess a lot of sprints. Frisbee, right? I played ultimate frisbee in college, or BYU, and some club level ultimate as well. Loved it. I only play more recreational now. I'll answer your question. I don't want to blow up my knee. I want to have long-term health and focus on triathlon and kind of some of these more endurance cardio sports. And they're still like running can still hard your knees are getting with. Frisbee is like the landing impact was my ear G mode is really weird. My bike trainer is calibrating weird. I'm gonna try to do these sprints in the arrow position. I mean, he's doing triathlon, like I want to kind of develop those muscles. Strange. Again, I wish these are about 15 seconds. Calibrating wrong. Okay, I need to. Yeah, so like I'll try to catch myself and remind myself to go arrow for the sprint itself. What's a watt? Okay, so good question. A watt in biking is literally the same as a watt in energy for like your electronics. It's literally the same. In other words, so I'm doing 90, 100-ish watts or whatever. That could power a 100-watt thing. So if you plug my light bulb here, my stream is like 125-watt light bulb. If I plug that into my bike, which there's like a happy medium with like, it could literally power that. Some workouts I encounter like this, it's like, so it's not too stressful. The reason some are just like so brutal. So let me go back up even a little bit. We use different metrics in athletics. Heart rate, okay, is one that a lot of runners are familiar with. But I'm not about to. You base your heart rate off heart rate zones. I guess you have to do zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, so that this is easy. Pretty common. And those zones help you know where your sweet spot is for training, because they can help you push in the right areas. So if you needed to do training to like kind of improve your speed, you might do some speed work in a zone 3, zone 4, which is like a tempo pace, versus the last 10 seconds of your race you might sprint, and that puts you in your, man, this is really weird. My kicker is calibrating really weird. The power. Sorry about that. I am failing on my power because of the sprint. Oh, it's calibrating. But so yeah, if you're a sprinter doing a 100-yard race, you're really going to be in your zone 5. It's weird for a lot of stuff for running. Now, in biking, the watts are important because my ear G mode is really weird. My bike, like these little red bars and these little gray bars. Weird on that. The gray bars are like in zone 1. Whereas the red bars are in zone 4 or 5. Now it's like, and it's based off of my functional threshold power, which is a test that I did last, just Tuesday, a few days ago. What's a watt? In biking, okay. So these good question. A watt, the watts in biking are really helpful. Literally the same age what as a watt in energy for like your electronics. For me, 90 watts is a very smooth, like again, zone 1 rest pace. 270 watts or whatever we're doing, it's kind of a harder pace. I could push more. I mean, like Again, this workout seems to be a little bit off calibrated, but it's also not meant to kill me. It's literally the same. In other words, so I'm doing 90, 100-ish watts or whatever. Where watts that come in handy as like 100-watt fan training metric. So you'll see on my name, my light bulb over there in the right middle, my stream is like 1.5 watts per kilogram. If I plug that into my bike and have that, and then here when I get into the sprint portion, power that light right here, so it's going to bounce up to 3, 4 something watts per kilogram. So maybe I'll back up. So I weigh a certain amount, use different metrics, and in athletics, the amount of heart rate an athlete is one that a lot of runners are familiar with. Per kilogram of heart rate off heart rate zones. Basically, zone 2, zone 3 determines your speed. 5. So if you're perfectly flat and flat course, those zones help you know then where your sweet spot is for training, and you have a I'll just use some extreme examples. Push in the right 100-pound athlete versus so if you need a 1,000-pound athlete to improve your speed, and they're both producing, you might do some 100 watts speed work in a zone 3, zone 4, 100-pound athlete will go much faster. Versus the last are higher. 10 seconds of your race you might sprint, and that puts you in your. That usually doesn't happen because it's really weird. An athlete that weighs more, it's more body mass, more gravity even helping you. Kicker is calibrated really weird. More watts off of power. So anyway, that's kind of a little small piece of it. But sorry about that. I've read a lot of the science too behind watts. Also are really important, even in measuring like uphill versus flat versus downhill. Give different advantages, power, to different types of cyclists. It's calibrating, but because there's. You want to get really into if you're a sprinter, there's like absolute power doing a 100-yard race, and then you're really going to be in your zone 5. And it gets really tricky. I can keep talking about it. Now in biking, just because there's other things involved like aerodynamics, like these little red bars and these little gray bars. The gray bars are like in zone 1, etc. Whereas the red bars are on a perfectly flat 4 or 5 non-windy day. And because I'm a relatively light athlete, power, I'm kind of at a disadvantage because my absolute power is generally lower than, say, an athlete that weighs 50 more pounds than me. But it's, again, in biking, doing the same watts per kilogram, because their absolute power is higher, are really helpful for you to know facing the same kind of work output you're doing. Frontal resistance, wind resistance, etc. 90 watts is a very smooth, again. And we're zone 1 rest pace in a frictionless world. 270 watts or whatever we're doing because they're doing more absolute power. It's kind of a harder pace. Even at 4 watts per kilogram. I could push more. However, on a climb, and this workout seems to be a little bit off calibrated. If I'm racing against someone who has exactly the same watts per kilogram, I might have the advantage because my weight is less. Where watts come in handy as like a training metric. So they're having to fight. You'll see on my name over there in the right middle. Anyway. It says 1.5 watts per kilogram, probably a butchered and brief description. And then here, when I get into the sprint portion, right here, the moral of the story is watts. It's going to bounce up are important and to 3, 4 something watts per kilogram. Cyclists to be able to learn. So I weigh a certain amount, what your zones are, and how to train effectively. And the amount of watts an athlete not treadmills, per kilogram of weight at the gym. They basically use just the number determines your speed. But they do. So a lot of them do measure watts still. Like some Peloton bikes. Then I'll take pictures and kind of again, and you have doing a whole video on it. One of the different types of bikes and different ways that you can measure. 100-pound athlete versus a 1,000-pound athlete is that you might not have access producing a bike with really accurate watts. And that's okay. Athlete will go much faster. You can still do workouts based off of either heart rate or perceived effort, which is they usually doesn't happen because an athlete that weighs more. More body mass, more again, gravity even helping you. The power meter, the ability to push more watts. Heart rate or perceived effort also helps. So anyway, that's kind of a little small piece of it. But I've read a lot of the science too behind watts. Also are really important, even in measuring uphill versus flat versus downhill. So I'm doing again around 90 really watts. I can very much keep talking about it. And my heart rate is 100. Things involved align aerodynamics for me resistance.
the gradient.
My heart rate
to
isn't
train
going to spike very much in this workout. It's generally lower because just doing the 10-second
say an
efforts,
athlete that weighs 50 more pounds than
even
you,
though they're at a high watt
kilogram
for me, because their absolute power is something watts per kilogram. Their frontal resistance,
brief in duration,
racing against someone who has exactly the same heart,
I might
time
have the advantage
to really work
they're
hard.
having to fight gravity with that same watts. Anyway,
But
that's like
again, this is probably a
Zwift
prescribed workout. I guess that's okay.
a lot of things.
Not
I would
treadmills
like
at
to
the
do.
gym. Maybe 15-second
They
intervals,
use just like
but
the number, but they do.
a lot of them do
playing
like
frisbee
measure
and
like
like
watts. 35
that's
minutes
workouts based off
for 2
of
hours. I didn't
either
have
heart
time
rate
to adjust the workout.
or personal tool.
I don't know if that helps.
Again, if you don't have access to the
Answer your
power
question,
meter,
Rocky Ron.
heart rate or perceived effort also helps.
It's the type of thing, like watts are so in depth that I would like
again,
to
about 90 watts, which isn't very
address
much.
it more
And my heart rate is
methodically
100.
in actual
Those
video,
both
but
align
in the very brief
me about
description,
the
the basic description is a watt. Literally the same as a
My
watt
heart
of
rate
power.
isn't going to spike
very much in this workout, probably, because just doing the 10-second efforts, even though they're at a high watt for me, at a 4-point-something watts per kilogram, they're so brief in duration. Just a long rest. It's not giving my heart a long time to really work hard. But again, this is a Zwift prescribed workout.
Another
Okay. 6 minutes and then another 5. I think I would like to do like maybe 15-second intervals, but playing frisbee in like 35 minutes for 2 hours, I didn't have time to adjust the workout.
The other thing, kind of referring to like watts, heart rate, training metrics.
I don't know
Say,
if that
unless
helps
you're really
answer
going to be
your question,
hardcore
Rocky
into cycling, you can get a lot of gain.
It's the type of thing like watts are so in depth
by
that
just
I would
doing
like
perceived
to
effort.
I
address it more
methodically in actual
When we're
video,
trying to
but
get in shape, when we're trying to like start
the
working
very
out and
brief
really
description,
describe
the basic
habits,
description is a watt.
there's a lot of
Literally the
barriers to
same as a
entry.
lot of power.
I mean,
in your home.
the very first barrier of entry would be like motivation, doing something new, building a new habit. The other barriers to entry would be then like, oh, I have to buy a bike, or I have to buy a trainer.
A long rest.
I have to buy all this stuff, or whatever. My thought to that is we don't want to be self-defeating in our goals. The more barriers to entry we can eliminate, the better to your success with your goals. Like, I would, sorry, my Zwift screen.
the other thing,
kind of referring to like watts, heart rate, training metrics. I'd say unless you're really going to
you want to eliminate those barriers to
cycling,
entry as much as possible.
you can get a lot of gain initially by just doing perceived
And the way to do
effort.
that,
I think when we're trying to get in shape, when we're trying to like
just
start
use
working
like
out
building
perceived
up
effort
as like
habits,
one of your training
there's a lot
goals.
of barriers to entry. I mean, the very first barrier of entry would be like motivation, doing something new, building a new habit.
Did that fix the screen resolution?
The other barriers to entry would be then like, oh, I have to buy a bike, or I have to buy a trainer. I have to buy all this stuff, or whatever. My thought to that is we don't want to be self-defeating in our goals. The more barriers to entry we can eliminate.
Read my chat.
So,
Sorry,
distracted. Constant distractions. We want to eliminate barriers to entry.
I think we fixed it.
You can get a lot of gains out of just
distracted.
going to your local gym. You want to eliminate barriers to entry.
If you have a gym membership,
You can get a lot of
using
gains
or
out of
if
just
you have any sort of
going to your local
fitness
gym
equipment at home, we'll kind of
try to find ways to cater to
and
to those
or
and to your
if you have
needs with
any
that,
sort
so
of
you can find productive ways
fitness equipment
reach
at
your
home.
goals.
We'll kind of try to find ways to cater to.
I know I've said a lot
those
how I
to
want
your needs
to create
with
a lot
that,
of these
so you can
videos,
find productive
and
ways
I will
reach your goals.
But another thing I want to talk to a lot about is I know I've
Correct
said a
and
lot how I
accurate
want
goal
to
making,
create a lot of
goal
these
setting.
videos, and I will.
A lot of you
But
might have
another
heard
thing I
of
want
the
to talk a lot
SMART
about is
goal format.
correct and
Means
accurate,
specific
goal-making,
goal setting.
measurable,
A
attainable.
lot of you might have heard of the SMART
R is,
goal
I believe,
format,
realistic,
which means
specific,
and then T is time bound,
measurable,
and that's a good framework for
attainable.
setting your goals.
R is, I believe, realistic.
I've always
And
had
then
kind of a
T is
beef with like
time-bound.
New Year's resolutions, and that's a good framework for setting your
Because
goals. We just like
I
say that we're going to do something.
I've always
and
had
it
kind of a
falls
beef
off
with
like New Year's
gym
resolutions.
memberships like skyrocket in January. I've read studies. We just like say that we're going to do
and
something,
then,
and then
like
falls
they,
off the world. Gym memberships like
they drop off,
skyrocket
like,
in January.
dramatically.
I've read
That's right.
studies. We need to set goals
and then like they they drop off like dramatically. Attainable because they have trackable measurements. We need to set goals. Again, I think a big fallacy or trap that we fall into attainable because setting our goals specifically have trackable measurements. I want to lose this amount of weight. Again, I think that's a big very hard goal trap that we fall into because it's setting our goals specifically 10, 20 pounds. I want to lose this amount of weight. So you're setting this goal for yourself. Very hard goal. And then you work for like, say you want to lose a month, 10, 20 workouts or various things at the gym, etc. So you're setting this goal for yourself. You lose like 1 pound. And then you work for like so demoralizing a month with various workouts, that things at the gym, etc. Kind of like fail to you lose like 1 pound of the goal. It's like so demoralizing that but the truth is by doing that kind of like fail to continue. It's probably super healthy for you. And you just haven't had enough time to see or realize gains yet. But the truth is by doing that month of workout, I really believe in it's probably super healthy setting goals around and just haven't had enough time to see or realize gains like yet. Even just like a so I really believe I don't want to just speak off setting goals around like say something that'll other not kind of like intent, but even just setting more appropriate goals will help you. I don't want to just speak off the cuff, achieve them and be successful in them, and ultimately find not fitness and joy in the journey. Setting more appropriate goals will be a lot more productive, and you'll lose weight, you'll reach other things, and ultimately find fitness and joy in the journey. To set a goal, it's going to be a lot more productive, and you'll lose weight, like you'll reach other things as a byproduct. Doing a 2-hour marathon, it wouldn't be feasible for me to set a goal. It's an incredible story, by the way. Like this is not realistic. Doing a 2-hour marathon in my near future. I'm not in shape enough. Like it's an incredible story. I couldn't train for that, even if I did for like 2 years. I probably this is not realistic. Like because no one has. I'm not in shape enough. Like, but I can set goals even if I did for like 2 years. Incremental improvements, or just to do this, like get my 4 workouts in the week. And I feel so much more better, so much more fulfilled, make incremental improvements, or reaching those to do milestones, like get my 4 workouts, and as a byproduct, and I feel so much more better, and I've succeeded a lot more in my races, reaching those milestones, and as a byproduct, I get specific performance, and I've succeeded a lot more in my races. Like almost try to be smart in my training. I've steered my goals away from consistent and some other things that just made me feel good, and just rather like try to be smart in my training, but consistent and some other things that just made me so again I know there's probably a lot of opinions about that, and that's fine, and I might be off on some of that. Again, I'm kind of ad-libbing off the cuff here, but again I know there's probably a lot of opinions about that, and that's fine, and I might be off on some of that. Again, I'm kind of ad-libbing off the cuff here, but kind of give ourselves good benchmarks there, good goals. There's a lot you can accomplish. Arrow position. So we kind of give ourselves good benchmarks and good goals. There's a lot you can accomplish. Arrow position. I'm trying to reduce my power. I'm trying to get more power. I'm trying to reduce my power. I'm trying to get more power. That's another part where I'm hoping to have these videos help people. Is you might not be interested in cycling at all, or running, which I will. I'm hoping to have these videos help people too. Is you might not be interested in cycling at all. There's a lot of different ways which I will also do running, get fit, and stay healthy. I've done some stuff with yoga. There's a lot of different ways that you can Beachbody stuff, get fit and stay healthy. I'd like to incorporate a lot of that into kind of our program here. I've done some stuff with yoga. I've done some stuff with insanity and Beachbody stuff. You can kind of do the workout that fits for you. I'd like to incorporate a lot of that into. I've actually talked with a friend of mine program here, who is a lifter. So we can you can kind of do the workout that fits for you. The guy is. I've actually talked with a friend of mine who is a lifter. I'd really like to do some of that. And I'm a competition lifter. Training on how to. The guy is do correct lifting workouts. And there's a lot of stuff on the radar. That and training on how to. It's gonna do correct lifting workouts. Grow into. And there's a lot of stuff on the radar. It's gonna grow into. Yeah, if you're watching the chat on YouTube, like, you can always feel free to put in what you'd be interested in along the lines of fitness. And yeah, if you're watching the chat on YouTube, like, kind of expanding your free to put in what you'd be interested in along the lines of fitness. There you go. Arrow for the sprint. I'm trying to remind myself to stay arrow for the sprint. There you go. Arrow for the sprint. I'm trying to remind myself to stay arrow for the sprint. Rothing Roth for like a again, biking terminology. So these are my aero bars. It's my aerodynamic position. Roth for like this is like my again, biking terminology. So
the hoods of the bike.
These are my aero bars.
It's hard to see because my aerodynamic position, but these are drops.
This is like my hoods.
All the hoods of the bike.
If I didn't have my mouse here, I'd take the towel off.
It's hard to see
because my towel draped over.
Different positions on the bike. These are drops.
This that I'm riding is a road bike. If I didn't have my mouse here, I'd take the towel off and show you. But
different
as opposed to
positions
a time trial or triathlon
this
bike
that I'm riding is,
so I had to buy
road
these.
Bike. Aero bars is clip-on aero bars.
So as opposed to a time trial or triathlon bike handlebars,
So I had to buy these. Aero bars is clip-on aero bars.
Triathlon bikes
So
are those ones that are
onto the
kind of have these naturally handlebars,
built-in aero bars.
Triathlon bikes are those
structured a
ones
little
that
bit
are
different. How they kind of have these naturally
chemistry
built-in.
Sorry, not chemistry,
aero bars
geometry of your body. They're structured a little bit different. How they do some of the chemistry.
There's a lot that goes into like
geometry of your body. A lot that I still need to learn with that as well. I've never had like the most perfect fit. There's a lot that goes
read
into
a lot
like
about it.
a bike. I've not got a
lot that I still need to learn
with that as well. I've never had like the most perfect
I've held
fit.
back is I've read a lot about it.
Like a professional fit.
I've not got a professional fit done yet, but that's on my radar.
Bike when I get one.
The only reason I've held back
leave
is
this road bike here, and I want to do like a professional fit on my triathlon bike when I get one. But when I'm racing,
I'll probably just leave this road bike
spend
here
the vast majority of the race in this position here on the aerodynamic position. But when I'm racing,
do
spend
these
the vast
sprints
majority of the race
in this position.
There's also value
with
with doing it like in the upright position. That's
these
more akin
sprints.
to what you would do
like going uphill.
There's also value with doing it like in the upright position. That's more akin to what you would do
up here, like going uphill, even on a triathlon bike.
like if I was climbing a hill. Going
In real
uphill,
life, I'd be
the aerodynamics aren't
up here.
nearly as important because, again, you're going uphill.
Even on a
There's not as
triathlon
much
bike.
wind.
The
Going uphill,
aerodynamics
the aerodynamics aren't nearly as
They're
important.
going downhill.
because, again,
Or
you're
flat.
going uphill. There's not as much wind.
That
The aerodynamic
the amount of
position is
energy
really
that you're saving, either going downhill
being aero
or
is
flat.
huge. There's a lot of cool things you can read about it. The amount of energy that you're saving, you save with being aero
is
here in
huge.
the game. You can see like
There's
my guy's kind of
a lot of
behind
cool
some of
things
those
you
other
can read about it.
cyclists, and I'm losing ground on them. But you
It's a true
save
thing in the game and in real life.
here in the game.
if
You
you
can see like
draft
my
behind
guy's kind of
someone,
behind some of those other cyclists,
staying like a little bit
I'm
behind
losing
their
ground
wheel.
on them. But you can gain
It's
as
a
much
true
as like
thing in the game and in real life.
60%
If you
energy
draft behind someone
in the
staying
professional
like a little bit behind their wheel,
cycling rides. You'll see them like all
you can
line
gain
up
as much as like
60% energy, and they'll take turns.
or
In the
usually
professional
trying to get their
cycling rides, you'll
sprinter
see them like all
position
line
for
up,
like
a sprint in the end to win.
and
And
they'll
they'll save
turns
so much
or
energy by
they're usually trying to get their
taking turns breaking
sprinter
the wind in the
position
front.
for like
A sprint in the end to win.
There's a lot of strategy to it actually.
And they'll save so
Even
much
like the
energy
direction
by
of the wind,
taking turns
and where
breaking
they
the
kind
wind
of
in the
line up
front. Their line.
there's a lot of strategy to
Where
it
if you
actually.
hear the word peloton,
Even
that's
like the direction of the wind, group of cyclists, and where they kind of line up
their line.
So the word, if you hear the word peloton,
again,
a lot more.
that's like the huge
A lot of strategy.
group of
The Tour de
cyclists.
France, if you watch that like with the intent of listening to the commentary and like the strategy
So again,
involved,
a lot more.
It's a lot of strategy. The Tour de France, if you watch that like with the
Like any
intent
sport.
of listening to the commentary,
triathlon,
and the strategy involved,
You are not allowed to draft.
It's pretty
There are
in-depth.
some draft legal races, like in sprint distance,
like any sport.
but most of the races
For
I do are
triathlon,
illegal for
you are
drafting.
not allowed to draft,
There are some draft
which
legal
means you
races
have to
like
learn
in
how to be
sprint
aero.
distance, but most of the races I do are illegal for drafting.
Because if it was a race,
Which means you
you
have to
drafted
learn how to be
means
aero.
that I have to be usually about 8 to 10 bike
Because
lengths
if it was a race,
behind
draft
the person
illegal
in front of
means
me. That I have to
So
be
you're not getting any of that
usually about 8 to 10
wind to
bike
break advantage
lengths behind the person in front of me. So so you're not getting any of that.
do a lot of training here.
Wind to
without
break advantage.
draft.
So I do a lot of training here without any draft. So I haven't been cycling in a little while, and which is why this is so good for me to get in and share this experience with you. So I haven't been cycling in a little while, YouTube, but and which is why this
You
is
kind
so
of have to
good for
build
me
up
to
your
get in and share this experience with you.
your bum muscles back to
YouTube, remembering how to sit in the saddle, but also
you kind
like
of have to build up your
even wearing a helmet.
your bum muscles
It's
back
like
to
I've had to like remembering how to sit in the saddle, get my muscles, but also like ties to that.
for like
even
racing,
wearing
like
a helmet.
Again, this goes
Like,
into
I
bike
had to,
fit
like,
stuff too, so you don't want to be like sore on the
Get
bike.
my muscles acclimatized to that.
Building up those neck muscles
for
is
like
important.
racing, like
Again, this goes into bike fit and stuff too, so you don't want to be like sore on the bike, but building up those neck muscles is important.
It's calling me.
I don't know.
Here we go, one more, and then a cool down.
And then we'll still make it to Frisbee on time.
Here we go, one more. And
We
then
got 2 hours worth of Frisbee games right after this. Good thing
And
it's
we'll
not
still
that bad
make
of a
it
ride to Frisbee on time. I think the rides get progressively a little bit harder.
We
We
got
got 2 hours worth of Frisbee games
as
right
they
after
should.
this. Good thing it's not that bad of a ride. I think the rides get progressively a little bit harder, as they should. And 2 hours of Frisbee are going to be good strength. The 2 hours of Frisbee are going to be good. All right, that's definitely was not a bad workout. I've mentioned it a few times, but all right,
I would have liked to have those like be
definitely was not a
15-second
bad
intervals.
workout.
I think that would have been a little more meaningful for my legs.
I've mentioned it a few
My heart
times,
rate
but
didn't really spike up.
I would have
liked to have those like be 15
again, this is based off of my
I think
functional
that would have
personal
been a
power
little more
test.
meaningful for my legs.
270 watts
My
is a
heart
good
rate didn't
workout
really
for me.
spike up a
Just
lot.
a little bit longer.
Again,
This is based off of my
rests
functional personal power
are,
test.
I think a little bit too slow for me. But
270 watts is a good
I
workout.
didn't
for
have
me.
a chance to
Just a
modify
little
it.
bit longer.
And the 90 watt rests.
I would like to kind of bring those windows a
are, I
little
think,
tighter.
a little bit too slow for me. But
Bring the 90 watts up to like
I didn't have a
120.
chance to modify it. Maybe move the 270 watts either to 15
I'd like to kind
seconds
of bring those windows a little tighter
or to like
290
bring the
watts.
90 watts up to like 120, something like that. Maybe move the 270
we're
watts either to 15 seconds
We'll accept it. We'll
or
be
to
grateful
like 290 watts.
that it wasn't too miserable.
Something like that.
We got in our.
We're good. We're almost finished.
We'll accept it
Getting
in
in
our
our
hour
hour
workout, and that it wasn't
That's
too
much
miserable.
more than can be said for
We got in
last week and we're almost finished.
last several months
Getting in our
of
hour
at school.
workout, and
That's much more than can be said for
grateful to have the opportunity
last
to get
week
into
and
it.
last week and last several months as I've been in school. I encourage the same to you.
Grateful
Like
to have
whatever your
opportunity
goals are,
to do the work.
get in and do the work. Feels good. Feels good afterwards to kind of have that. I encourage the
Checked
same
off
to you.
for
Like
the day.
whatever your goals are, get in and do the work.
And I appreciate all of you.
Feels good. Feels good afterwards to kind of have
Holding
that.
me accountable. Checked off getting this done today. And I appreciate all of you for holding me accountable for getting this done. It's good to have a community for that, if nothing else. Accountability is huge. It's good to have a community for that, if nothing else.
5:47.
Accountability is
Finishing at 5:57.
It's perfect. Frisbee's at 6:15.
Okay, 10-minute, 12-minute
Cool down.
drive. 5:47. That means we're going to be finishing at 5:57.
It's perfect. Frisbee's at 6:15.
12-minute drive.
Shoes and socks.
Golden. That's all right. Gotta change shoes and socks. That's all right. That's all right. It's a great day to be alive. That's all right. It's a great day to be alive. Keep your water refilled. I'm a bad example. I'm kind of like
Keep
a
your water
camel.
refilled.
I'll do a half marathon without like drinking anything. I'm a
Don't
bad
do as I
example.
do.
I'm kind of like a camel. I'll do bad example. I'll do a half marathon without like drinking anything. Sorry, I
Don't
think
do
we
as
have
I
dropped
do.
frames throughout. I think my internet is just a little
Bad
spotty
example.
today. Sorry, I think we have dropped frames throughout. I think my internet is just a little spotty today. A little spotty. A little spotty. It's hills like this where we're at a 9% grade in Zwift that I'm glad I'm on a workout mode. So workout mode, it's hills
just
like
do
this
this at
where we're at
Watts
a
and it's telling me
9%
to do.
grade in Zwift that I'm
If it
glad
was
I'm on
a
just a free
workout
ride
mode,
So workout mode, pushing up this.
I just do the set watts that it's telling me to do.
9%, now 4%, 5%.
If it was just a free ride,
the trainer like
really
adjusts
pushing up
the resistance.
9%, now 4%,
One of the cool
5%.
things with this program,
Because it says like, oh, you're going to
trainer
like adjusts.
you have to push harder,
the
like
resistance.
real life.
It's one of the cool things with this
But
program.
yeah, it's moments like this when I'm just doing a cool down that
It
I'm
says like, oh, you're going to pill?
grateful. You have to push harder, like
Just
real
push
life.
125 watts. And it lets me do
But
that.
yeah, it's moments like this when I'm just doing a cool down that I'm
Grateful. We can just push 125 watts. And it lets me do that. There we go.
have to get the legs back ready for some sprints and frisbee. Have to get the legs back ready for some sprints and frisbee.
Feels good to get done. There's a lot of good workout day. Feels good to get done. There's a bug. Finishing up here. Few more minutes. Finishing up here.
Again, y'all are holding me
minutes.
accountable even to the cool down.
This was not streamed live. I would have
And
the
y'all
bad
are
tendency
holding
of
me
bad
accountable
habit
even
of
to
just
cool
like,
down.
oh, I'm cool down.
I've already cooled down for
This
5
was-
minutes, I'm done.
Not streamed live. I would
Frisbee.
have the bad tendency or
cool
bad
downs are
habit
important.
just like, oh, I'm cool down.
I've already cooled down for 5
I don't
minutes,
have
I'm
any
done.
any clout as a
Frisbee.
coach at all. But
Do your cool downs are important.
Drink your water, do your cool downs. If I'm gonna have any clout as a coach at all, it's important. Do your cool downs. Drink your water, do your cool downs. It's important. And it's only 4 more minutes anyway. And it's only 4 more minutes anyway. Only a few more minutes and then we're good. Only a few more minutes and then we're good. Got another kudos. Can't read the name. Got another kudos. Can't read the name. There we go. Just finishing up. Running to play frisbee. There we go. Just finishing up. Running to play frisbee. Doing the frisbee brick workout. Bike and then do sprints on the field. Doing the frisbee brick workout. Bike and then do sprints on the field. Jumping in, thanks for stopping by, say hi. And keep it as a short workout today because, like I just said, we're
That one is I've got 2 frisbee games. Thanks for stopping by. Say hi.
10 minutes.
It's a short workout day because being on a frisbee team, I played in college, and I've got 2 frisbee games in like 10 minutes. Trying to pull me out of retirement. I got wrangled into being on a frisbee team I played in college, and I guess they're trying to pull me out of retirement for a sprint local league. There we go. 2 minutes. Finish it up and then we'll say ciao. 2 minutes. Finish it up and then we'll have to say ciao. Just finishing up. Nice easy cool down. Doing the whole cool down, being a good example. Just finishing up. Nice easy cool down. Doing the whole cool down, fresh, being a good example. Sprints. My legs fresh for sprints. Check afterwards some of the audio too. I want to make sure the mic is okay positioned here. I feel like it's a little better position. It's out of the way, but I'm going to check afterwards some of the audio can project into it. Make sure the mic is okay positioned here. I feel like it's a little better position. It's out of the way, but all the tests. I think my voice can project into it. All the learning. All the tests. All the learning. My computer just gave me some sort of notification. Don't know what it said. Too far away. Oh, my computer just gave me some sort of notification.
Audio sounds good. Thanks for rocking around.
Too far away. That's awesome.
Audio sounds good. Thanks for rocking around.
Cool. We did the workout. We can check that off for the day. That's awesome. Like I said, I'm gonna go run and play some frisbee. Did the workout. Do my sprint workout there. You can check that off for the day. Like I said, I'm gonna watching on YouTube afterwards. Play some frisbee. With your goals. Do my sprint workout there. The world is your tomato. All you that are watching on YouTube afterwards. Keep up with your goals. If I can get as always. The world is your tomato. So hard. Cheers. See you next time. If I can get my mouse on YouTube. Make sure to click here to subscribe. So mouse left-handed here. And join me live at Uncia 14. If you're on YouTube, make sure to